If you read sutras or shastras, at glance you will feel that the Buddha talks about mind and the body as a separate entity, mainly. But in many Buddha's teachings, sutras, distinctions between these two is almost non-existent. Body and mind, not separate, or not same also. Now, this brings an issue. There are Buddhists who say, oh, all those Buddhists, all the sutras that you are talking, they are not real sutras. They are not taught by the Buddha. What are you talking about? This is what they would say. We can have another discussion about this another time. But here, for today, what is necessary to analyze whether there is Buddhism without reincarnation, I need to present the idea of direct teaching and the expedient meaning teaching. I don't know, I could be wrong, please correct. Apart from maybe Indian way of talking and Buddhist especially, I find that most of the Western or modern presentation on science or technology or politics, it's usually a direct ngedon teachings, isn't it? It's a ngedon, it's a direct teaching. You have to take literally. Buddha's teaching is not that easy to sort of put it in a black and white like this. To put it very crude, all Buddha's teaching, almost many Buddha's teachings are half true and half not true. Crudely speaking, he's kind of half lying and half not lying. And you will ask why? Because, and this we declare proudly in Tibetan, we call it Chemba Jumtsendu Chene Chö Mishe. Buddha never taught anything because he wanted to exhibit his knowledge. All Buddha's teaching is because of his compassion. If a Buddha look at a Californian who is suffering with a low self-esteem, he will say, yeah, you are a very good man. You are the center of the world, all of this. He could say this. But he also knows very well that this method is going to, in 30 years, turn whole California into a state of narcissist. And this system of Dangdan and Ngedon, we call it, delivering the truth directly and delivering the truth indirectly. This exists with the Buddha's teaching all the time. And I will single out those Buddhists who say, all the earlier sutras that they said that, oh, your sutra does not exist. Those are not necessarily Buddha's word. I will have to say they have to think twice. Because in their own sutras, Buddha at times praised generosity so much. But in their own sutra, some other sutra, Buddha is very cynical about generosity because he wants to sell the discipline. He wants to sell patience, other good things. So he said, don't get distracted with the generosity, so on and so forth. This is another reason why a Buddhist can talk about emptiness wholeheartedly and the ritual does not contradict. I have to thank Professor Shaft here because 2 times we had dinner and he talked about ritual in Buddhism and how this is, people talk about sort of Buddhism without the religiosity. And this really made me think. These Buddhists, what the hell, British Buddhist. The tendency, what they do is they cherry pick. Meditation, wow, that's good, let's pick this up. Fire puja, that's a Tibetan stuff. Not good, because you are underestimating relative truth. maybe I'm being very narrow-minded, looks like many of the other religion, including Abrahamic religion, seems to need to adjust to the present day of thinking and present day values. But I will have to say, Buddhism, ground, path, method, nothing needs to be modified, nothing. There is a path for everyone. That does not mean that others' method is invalid. So hot, let's take a break. So, reincarnation is taught in the sutras that are considered teachings of expedient meaning. Okay? So, on the absolute level, Buddhists don't believe in reincarnation. But even as I say this, I worry how you interpret this. And I will bring this up because I may be totally wrong. Because many people have made comment that the great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh does not talk about reincarnation. And therefore, many of his followers, and I think most of them are what I call earlier, remember, sort of materialistic residual, Abrahamic residual students, they really they have now backup from an authentic Zen master. So this is how I tend to hear. I could be wrong, I have to say this. Not as a tulku, but as a Buddhist, I worried when I hear this. Because the whole point of practicing Buddha Dharma is to be free from cyclic existence, samsara, going round and round and round. If there is no reincarnation, there is no round and round. There is this, then that. And this makes sense in a way because many of so-called meditation, mindfulness, and so on and so forth, works so well with resorts. Resorts, 5-star resort, massage, mindfulness, because afterwards, nothing to worry. You become a plant, you become part of the universe. Then right now you get a massage, you get a jacuzzi and a meditation. That's why meditation is becoming popular. This is my fantasy. Again, I have to say this before I forget, because otherwise I'll forget. I will. Again, the moment we mention the words like samsara, because it's a foreign language, then you think in terms of long, infinite, I don't know. And this is where all this misconception happens. In the Prajnaparamita Sutra, Buddha told one bodhisattva that from the time he took bodhisattva vow to the time he was the 10th Bhumi bodhisattva, by the way, and he was actually towards the last stage, and that's like 3 countless eons. Okay, be careful with the 3 countless eons when you hear this. Because the bodhisattva, I think, was complaining to Buddha, it's just so long and just so, And Buddha said that from the time he took the bodhisattva vow till the last moment of the bodhisattva, 10th Bhumi bodhisattva, it was shorter than a spark. went from the fire, coming out and died. It was even shorter than that. That's what Buddha said. So when we talk about samsara, we are talking about a tripping, basically. Tripping, which you should know, being here. And within this tripping sphere, reincarnation fits. So, the concept of reincarnation should not be, narrowed down to you die as a human being and born as a butterfly. This very, very mediocre, very small way of understanding reincarnation. But, there are teachings like that taught by the Buddha. Remember why? Half truth, half no truth. Because not everybody can understand. I'm repeating this a little bit, but you may ask, why does Buddha do this? Why does he lie? He doesn't want you to suffer, remember? Out of compassion. So he wants to take you from here to there, sort of. Okay, going back to Thich Nhat Hanh. Then, with a worry, I have read, with the help of a lot of people, I have read some of his comments. And even I highlighted. I can show you if you want. Of course, I'm not comparing myself to, he's a great master, but basically what he is saying is what I'm saying. In the ultimate level, we don't talk about a reincarnation. Reincarnation does not exist as a truly existing entity. You cannot cherry pick this now, okay? chö thamje milam da bujuma da nyang ni de chö tham chö chang milam da bujuma da nyang ni de bal sa bi chö milam da bujuma da all phenomena are like a dream and like illusion. Reincarnation, of course. Enlightenment, nirvana, is also like a dream and like an illusion. If there is something mightier than the enlightenment, that is also dream and illusion. This is spoken by the Buddha. But yes, in sutras like Jatakamala Sutra, where Buddha said, once upon a time when I was a monkey, as if there was a soul, mind that reincarnates and previous incarnation. Okay, I have to sort of rephrase this a little bit. These sutras, are they talking about the truth? No. But if you ask me, are they lying? I have to think about this. Because they are expedient meaning teaching. Okay, this is just what makes an expedient meaning teaching qualified as an expedient meaning teaching. This is important to actually sort of make note. Expedient teaching must lead to the ultimate truth, otherwise expedient teaching is not good. If expedient teaching is not leading to the direct meaning, then that teaching is not a path. When Buddha said, all compounded things are impermanent, that's an expedient meaning teaching, that's not absolute teaching. To be very crude, just to enhance, just to highlight, that's a lie. That's not a, maybe I shouldn't say lie, but just so that we can communicate. When he says all compounded things are impermanent, that is a relative teaching, not absolute teaching. I think for the materialist, it is actually the ultimate teaching. What is the problem? Why this is not the ultimate teaching? Because if it is the ultimate teaching, Buddha is asserting that there is something that is becoming impermanent. Danger. And Buddha is also, by consequences, he's saying impermanence is permanence. This expedient and direct meaning teaching is, as I said, I have no interest in having a dialogue with the scientists. I'm talking about here, just giving an opinion of how to study Buddhism. You have to, really think in this way in order to study Buddhism. If you don't understand some of these systems, you will not understand Buddha Dharma, even intellectually, very difficult. Sometimes Buddha said, those who see me as a form, those who hear me as a sound, they have a wrong view. This is what Buddha said. Other times he said, Buddha is adorned with the 32 major marks, 80 minor marks. What is this? And sometimes, Buddha never said that there is a nirvana that requires abandoning of samsara. Non-existence of the samsara itself is the nirvana. This is what Buddha said. But other times Buddha talk about the Sukarvati, the land of Amitabha, the swan, the pond, the flowers. He talks like this. And as someone like me, fanatical Buddhist, we are very proud he taught like that. Great teacher. That's why people like me, venerate him, because he talks like this.